bro. I am so fat. I can't not sweat. All
You need
right.
one of the silent fans.
My fan is supposed to be a silent fan, but with this Yeti mic, nothing is silent. Nothing at all.
You can hear a
But
roach fart in the tree outside with the Yeti mic.
oh yeah, for sure, dude. For fucking sure. My goal, because I've burped in the mic so much now that I just really want to capture a good fart.
Yeah.
I just want to stand up and turn around and get a good fart in there.
Wait till you get the felt on it so it sinks in and you save that fart for
Yeah, maybe.
future
Or,
generations.
or so that way I can take it off and clean it and I don't get pink eye.
All right.
But
Well,
anyways, I'm ready to start when you
and
are.
if he does jump in, then I'll just switch over to the other thing here.
Yeah. Or if you just want to take the OBS off and have it look like a Zoom call. That
Um,
we've done that. We've done that before. I mean,
yeah, I'll just leave it like this for now.
okay.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
All right, three, two, one.
This episode of Open Micers is brought to you by the people of Aquaries Productions, as well as that dirty motherfucker BJ DeBlow. He knows what he did. He would have started his own podcast, but he was too chicken shit. Let's play the music.
Ooh, it is Wednesday night, and it's time for the Open Micers podcast. I am Jason Robbins.
I'm the roach fart in a tree of stand-up comedy, Jacob Craig. And tonight we were supposed to talk to the great Sean Finnerty. He is yet to be here. Perhaps he will join us through the show. We'll never know.
If he does, we'll
But
just pop him in, and you'll never know the difference.
yeah, exactly. But until then, we're going to give you a host episode because you guys want content every week. So yeah,
Fuckers. Always wanting
yeah, man.
shit.
Always, everybody wants something. Everybody wants something. So I guess we'll just we'll just talk to each other, man.
Yeah.
What's your week been like this week, Jay?
Well, we did the open mic last night at the Juke Joint in
That's
Ocean
true.
Springs, doing the changeover to where it's your show now. You are the official host.
That's right. I'll be hosting at the Juke Joint in Ocean Springs every Tuesday night for the next month, uh, starting at 8 o'clock. So, yeah, if you want to come by for the open mic, if you want to get stage time or just see the show, I will be there. I will be the new host.
Yeah.
Very excited.
Speaking of the Juke Joint, the Fresh for Pets happened this last weekend,
Oh
and
shit, yeah, I forgot about
yeah,
that.
Falls from Grace played Saturday night, and we it was hot, it was loud. Yeah.
You guys fucking rocked it though, dude. And I've seen you guys live twice before, but every time I see you guys live, it's a special treat. Because like you
Yeah.
guys, you even said it on stage, or who was it? I think Donnie said it on stage. It's like you guys aren't gonna see us for another year, so let's make it last. Like you guys have been only playing like one show a year, so every
because
time
we're
you get to see Falls from Grace, it's
because
fucking
we're old
special.
men now. We can't play every weekend like we used to.
Is that why Dylan's in the band? Is
Yeah.
Donnie grooming his replacement?
No, I mean Dylan's been there really since the beginning. I mean, he was like 2 years old when we started that band. Like literally, like 2 years old. He would hang around practice, and we
Yeah.
watched that kid grow up, and now he's like a really great guitar player. So we're like, and he wanted to join the band, so we're like, okay, get
Okay.
some young blood in there. Keep us. It's sort of like vampires. Drinking the blood of the young.
Uh, I think. I mean, I think it would be cool if, like, to keep Falls from Grace going. You have Dylan, and I don't know if any of Jared's kids can sing or whatever, but
Well, yeah, he's got like three
that's a fun
kids now,
idea.
so we just groom all of them to take our places. We'll be like Guar, where it just
Yeah,
like
there you go.
you get new people in all the time, and you never know We'll have to start wearing
Yeah.
masks. I think we're actually playing a Halloween show
Oh,
on
really?
October 30th, I think. But it depends on because our bass player Mikey used to be a Marine. Plus, me and him
Mhm.
have been playing music for 20 years, and 20 years of him jumping, doing scissor kicks on the
Yeah.
stage for 20 years has ruined his knees. So he has to
Okay.
have double knee surgery, and he actually pushed back the knee surgery so we could do the show this past weekend. And poor guy can barely walk, man. And we're
Oh
like
my
making him
God.
go on stage, and he goes on stage and like jumps around like like nothing's happening. But then he gets off stage, he's like, "I'm going home. My knees hurt." But
Yeah,
that's
that's
what
you would
happens when you
never
get
guess from
old.
watching them.
I know he covers it up well, but he's got like bad knees, really bad knees, and he's getting knee replacements. So if he's up in time for the October show, we're doing that. But we've been talking a lot about it. We have a new practice space now where Donnie's got a house way out in the middle of nowhere, so we can play at any time. And we're gonna go out there and practice and write some new stuff, and hopefully maybe put out a new EP or something here in the next year or so.
That's awesome, man. That'd be great. Yeah, it's you guys fucking rocked it. I got my Falls from Grace merch.
Yeah,
I got a t-shirt, bought some drumsticks.
yeah,
I took the set list from that night,
yeah.
so fully ingrained Falls from Grace fan now. I opened the show that day. Let me tell you, man, it's called Frets for Pets for a reason because they did not give a fuck about comedy.
Whew, I can't.
They,
I'm glad I didn't have to do a set up there because it looked like it was not a comedy crowd.
dude, I don't know what they wanted. I guess music. I know what they wanted, but it's like I opened the show, so it's like they're expecting all of this music, and then I come up there and I'm like, "Hey, I bet Tom Brady gets fucked in the ass by dudes sometimes," and they're like, "What?" And then what sucks is like I just assume that I'm being too dirty the whole time. I assume that's
Yeah.
what the problem is,
Well, what they should
and
have
then I
done, they should have had like a little platform out in front of the stage to where when the bands are changing in and out, they should have had like a big curtain in front of the stage there. Have the comedian come out and fill the time in between the bands.
that would be awesome. That would be ideal. But the thing is that one of the guys that runs it didn't even want comedy, and the other guy talked him into it. So he's like, "Yeah,
Well,
fine, do
that's.
two fucking comedians, whatever." And then, but like I was saying, it's like I just assume that I'm being too dirty. It's like it's in the middle of the day. I've
Yeah.
never performed comedy during the day before, and cool, it was 5 o'clock, but it's still fucking daylight outside.
Hmm.
There's some kids around the corner, who luckily weren't paying attention, so I just assumed like, oh, they don't like the dirty jokes. And then I decided, fuck it, I'm just gonna lean into it. I did one of the dirtiest jokes that I do. It's just a really dirty fucking one liner that's so horrible. If I said it out of context, I would get canceled. And it murdered. Like that was the biggest laugh of the set. And
Wow.
I was like, what did you want the whole time? What was I supposed to do? I don't I don't understand the
I don't know.
science
It's.
behind making those people
I
laugh.
mean, it. I thought about doing it before, like comedy and music, doing a festival like that. But when you
Yeah.
think about the logistics of it, it's so it those crowds just do not overlap.
Yeah, I mean, you listen to any comic like Anthony Jeselnik went on a little tour with Queens of the Stone Age, opening for Queens of the Stone Age because the lead singer loves Anthony Jeselnik, loves his comedy.
Yeah.
And those are the some of the worst shows that Anthony Jeselnik has ever done
Yeah.
because no one bought a ticket to see him. They bought a ticket to see Queens of the Stone Age,
Yeah.
and they're not showing up being like, "Oh, comedy, let me respect this guy and listen to what he has to say."
Yeah.
Like that's not the crowd that's there. They're like, "Oh, Queens of the Stone Age, let's smoke weed and break shit."
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. They're not there to see comedy.
yeah, and and people say, "Oh, you never blame it on the crowd." Dude, fuck that. Kevin Hart said that. Fuck Kevin Hart, dude.
Yeah.
It's like if a crowd isn't there to see you, then it's gonna be a tough time to get them to pay attention.
Yeah.
If they're there to see something entirely different.
Didn't Bill Hicks go on tour with Tool back in the day, like the early '90s?
I have no idea.
I think he
I will
did.
admit that I don't know a lot about Bill Hicks.
I'm pretty sure he did. Uh,
Wouldn't doubt it.
but I can imagine Bill Hicks is the kind of guy that will get his mission is to get your attention.
Yeah.
So I imagine he thrived on stuff like that.
But like imagine if you go to a strip club and they're about to bring out candy and then I just walk on stage and do a type 5. Like what? No, no one's there for that.
Show us your titties, fat boy.
Yeah, exactly. They want to see my pussy. That's all they care about.
Hey, whip them out, make a few bucks.
Dude, we have a friend of the show, Crangus Gillespie, who's been on a couple of times. He actually opened for Riley Reid at a squirt show.
Really?
Yeah, he doesn't talk about it. That's a legit credit. I would say that I've opened for Riley Reid if I
Yeah.
had that credit. But yeah, imagine having to do comedy right before a porn star comes out and squirts on everybody.
Well, at least you do it before she comes out, so you don't have to stand in
You just do stand up after while everyone's mopping.
it.
Uh,
That's gross.
this is gonna be a graphic show, Jason Robbins.
I
We're
can
earning
tell.
our fucking what is it, explicit
Well,
badge.
last night was a different kind of show for me. It's the first time I ever did like an open mic where I literally went on stage with no plan.
Mhm.
Like I just got up and started talking. And I had a couple of things I wanted to talk about, but it's sort of like one thing kind of led to another. And I thought it was a pretty good set. I mean, I ended with some stuff I've done before, but I think I did what, like 8 minutes? And I'm
Something like that.
probably the first 5 minutes was nothing but just like stuff right off the top of my head. And some of it hit pretty well. So I think I'm going to keep some of it if I can remember it. I wish I would have
Yeah.
taped it.
Well, dude, well, in my opinion, I think what you should do is just keep, you know, if you're at an open mic, fuck it, riff something off. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because I was watching you do that, and the difference was that you were having fun.
really?
Like you were having fun riffing that joke, and then you do your material, and it's like it doesn't seem like you're having fun with that material anymore. You got to
Yeah.
keep it fresh. You got to
Yeah.
riff that joke off.
And that's the thing. I haven't really written anything new in a while because I haven't had that motivation.
Yeah, I can tell you're bored with it.
Yeah, I've been doing the same like over the last, I've done nothing but pretty much big shows over the last
Right.
couple months. I haven't really done any open mics, but all I've done is the same set
Mm-hmm.
every show, and so it's kind of getting a little bit, I don't know, not boring, but just like I don't know. It's boring to me. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I know the same feeling. I mean, I will come off the road and do the same set three, four, 5 times, whatever, however long I was gone, and that by the end of it, I'm like, I'm so ready to retire these jokes.
Yeah.
Like they're,
And I
I'm
just
not
went on.
gonna go and do these jokes at an open mic.
And I just went on stage last night. I was like, you know what? I've gained a lot of weight, and I'm just gonna talk about getting fat.
Yeah,
and
me too, dude.
and I went on stage and did 5 minutes off the cuff of just getting fat over COVID, and it came
Worked.
out pretty good actually. I thought.
Yeah, it worked. I mean, and that's one thing too is like I feel like a lot of people. I know I do this. So I always overthink and I think about the science behind comedy,
Me
and I
too.
never just go up there and talk and just do a set.
I go in my comedy app and I literally will look at my jokes down to the word. What
Mhm.
word do I want to use here? How do I want to
Right.
say? How am I going to say this word when I get to this point? Instead of just getting like, I feel like back in the beginning when we started, me and you roughly started at the same time. Like at the Kraken.
Yeah.
I feel like it was all new, and we were just going up there and just trying new stuff all the time,
Yep.
and we weren't worried about, okay, well, what word works best here. Like, okay, how am I going to break this joke down? It's almost become too clinical, and
Mhm.
like you said, I overthink it too much instead of just going up there and just fucking being funny.
Yeah, I do the same exact thing, man, and especially when I don't have a new 5 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
Because back in in 3 years ago now, uh, when I have much less responsibilities, every single week I just write a new 5 minute to go up there and have so much fucking fun with it
Yeah.
because I'm excited that I have all these new ideas and I get to try them out in front of people.
And I tried out a new story too because something came up earlier in the show. So I started my set off with something I've never told before.
Yeah,
And it kind of set the tone for the whole thing. And even I got off stage, you were just like, dude, you need to tell more stories like that. I'm like,
yeah, I did tell you that. Yeah,
I got a lot of stories like that. So
yeah,
I'm going to start digging into the old memory pile and bringing stuff out.
yeah. You got to play to your strengths, man. I've had to be a joke writer because I don't have life experience. You have
Yeah.
tons of life experience, so you don't have to be a joke writer.
Yeah, technically.
You don't have to. I mean, you are. You
Yeah.
do. You do write jokes, but
But I do have
you
a lifetime of dumb shit happening to me because
right.
I've lived a life that no one else has lived. I've been on the road with a band. I've been in the entertainment industry. I've never had like a normal life. Like I've never just like did the 9 to 5 existence and then come home and eat dinner and watch whatever sitcoms I'm into and then go to bed and do it the same way the next day. So it's been a lifetime full of being on the road and just doing weird shit that I have so many weird stories that I think I could probably do an hour-long special just off dumb shit that's happened to me.
That's what you should title it. Is dumb shit that's happened to me.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, you think about it, dude. That's what Henry Rollins does.
Yeah.
Like Henry
Well,
Rollins is not a stand-up comedian.
now that you talk about him, he is the reason I literally Henry Rollins is the reason that I started doing comedy. I wanted to be
Yeah,
like Henry Rollins. I didn't really want to be a comedian because I don't consider myself a joke writer. I'm more of a storyteller.
right.
And me and him have had similar experiences. Like all he does is get on stage and talk about life and
Yeah.
being on the road with the band and all that kind of stuff. And like I first got into his spoken word stuff back in the late '80s with if you can go back and listen to actually I have a VHS still. It's called "You Saw Me Up There," and there's a what's up, Ron John in the chat room, and then the CD that came along with that VHS special was called Think Tank, and that's probably one of the greatest comedy albums of all time. I'm telling you, it's up there.
And it's a Henry Rollins comedy album.
It's a double album. It's probably you can
Back in the
probably listen
'80s,
to it on Spotify now.
probably. I didn't realize that Henry Rollins had been doing that for so long.
Oh yeah, he's been doing spoken word stuff since like the '80s.
Okay. Yeah, I always thought that he just kind of transitioned over into that when, well, Black Flag's still playing, but when he, kind of left the limelight a little bit.
Well, he went and started his own band, the Rollins Band, but he was still doing the spoken word stuff at the same time because
Okay.
he's also writing books, and I think the spoken word stuff has made him more money than music ever did because he still
Yeah.
does spoken word stuff. Like that's what he does now is just like going and doing like stand up spoken word things in all these cities.
Yeah, I mean, if you travel on the road with just yourself, and all you need is like a manager and an agent or whatever, you can
Yeah,
make some money like that if you're not having to deal with a fucking label ripping you off.
yeah, exactly.
But dude, how good of an actor is Henry Rollins though? Let's talk about that. That guy
Dude,
is a
he
hell of an
was
actor.
he did the voice of oh crap, what's the on the new He-Man series?
Skeletor?
No, not Skeletor, the guy with the eyes that he can change the eyes. He's got like 4 eyes around his head.
Eye Man?
Not Eye Man, it's hold on, I can look it up. Let me go to IMDb. I should
Until
know this
Eyes.
because I'm such a He-Man nerd.
Yeah, I have no fucking idea what you're talking about. I haven't seen the show yet. I haven't watched it.
Oh, it's so people are hating on it, and I don't know why. Even a friend of mine's talking about, spoilers. You killed He-Man. Like, dude, it's
Whoa, He Man dies?
it's like, dude, the story's not finished. Like, wait till the rest of the season comes out.
I'd be pretty pissed if He Man died.
Revelation. All right, let me see.
Who does the voice of the He Man? Fucking
Who does
Chris
the voice?
Hemsworth?
Chris Wood.
Chris Wood.
Uh,
Oh, he was on Supergirl.
oh yeah, I see his picture now. Lena Headey is Evil Lynn.
Ooh.
Sarah Michelle Gellar as Tila. Mark Hamill as Skeletor. Dude, Diedrich
Okay.
Bader plays Trapjaw. I want to
Oh,
get
nice.
Diedrich Bader on this show so bad. Oh,
We've been trying to get
Triclops.
Dietrich
That's
Bader
his
for a
name.
while.
Henry Rollins did Triclops.
Oh, I know Triclops. Yeah.
Yeah, Stephen Root does Cringer, the cat.
Yeah.
Liam Cunningham is Man at Arms. He was I don't remember his name on Game of Thrones, but he was the Onion Knight.
Yeah. Davros.
Davros, that's it. Yeah. Dennis Haysbert as King Grayskull. He's the guy that he was on 24, and he does all the All State commercials.
Yeah.
The guy with the
Old
badass
state
voice.
stands.
Yeah.
Are you in good hands?
Are you in good hands?
Yeah, dude. Henry Rollins is a fucking hell of an actor. His role on Sons of Anarchy
Oh my
is like
god.
so opposite to who he
I
is.
know. Well, that's why he does those kind of roles. Did you ever see He Never Died? That movie he was in where he played Cain.
No,
You
I
know
haven't.
the story of Cain and Abel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
he
not that
plays.
much of an atheist.
Well, he plays Cain, and he's been alive for like thousands of years.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty cool. I think it's on Netflix. It's either on Netflix or Hulu right now. I think you can pretty much see it anywhere.
That's awesome. Yeah, I know a lot of people were pissed off when he didn't get cast as Negan because Robert Kirkman, when he wrote The Walking Dead,
Oh
based the
yeah,
character of Negan on Henry Rollins.
he would have made a great Negan. I didn't even think of that.
He would have because when they were drawing Negan, they drew him to look like a young Henry
I didn't
Rollins.
know that he was the basis for Negan. I never knew that.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, they kind of wrote and care and like made him look slightly like Henry Rollins, and they gave him Henry Rollins' personality because he's like if Henry Rollins was in the zombie apocalypse, he would be like this really crass, funny, murderous man with a barbed wire baseball bat.
Yeah, I'm telling you, dude. You need to go check out. You either listen to Think Tank or watch You Saw Me Up There. Let me see if that's available anywhere.
Yeah, don't tell me to find shit at a Goodwill. 'Cause I'm never gonna find it.
Let's see. You
Can we get a
Saw
burp
Me
count
Up
on that, Jamie?
There. IMDb. I think you can watch it on YouTube. It says it's on
Okay.
YouTube.
You can find anything on YouTube illegally, at least for a little while.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's pretty much where you can watch it now.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll check it out. I always say that. I always feel bad about saying that because I always say I'll check it out and then I never fucking do.
No, but it's a great stand-up special. Like it's really funny.
Okay, the next time I write some jokes, I'll put it on because I like listening to comedy specials when I write
All
jokes.
right. And, you know, and it's his whole Henry Rollins persona. So, like I said, it's not
Okay,
really jokes. It's more just storytelling. But all the funny shit happens in the story. You know.
I got you. Let's see what did I do this week? Yeah, I was at the mic last night. I got handed the keys over to the Juke Joint open mic.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't signed a contract yet, but I mean we're going to. It's official for at least a month. And then Monday night, dude. So I'm in the Mobile Comedy Festival right now. It's happening all week. That's why we're going to talk to Sean Finnerty because he's the headliner of the Mobile Comedy Festival.
Mm-hmm.
And Monday, all I had planned to do all day was I was going to be a guest on a podcast at 3 p.m. and then I was going to fucking chill for the rest of the day. That's all I had to do was just guest on this podcast and then I'm done. Then I get a text from our best friend Zeke Buckholtz, friend of the show. He's like, "Hey
Yeah.
man, if you come out to the show tonight, they're doing a bartender comedy show." And apparently a bunch of people fell out of it. So he texted me. He's like, "Hey, if you come to the show tonight and guest spot, I'll give you some gas money and free drinks." That's all you have to say to get me somewhere, dude. I was like, motherfucker,
Or
I
free
guess I'll.
wings.
Or, yeah, free food of any
Free
kind,
food.
wings
Dude, I'm not
specifically.
kidding. You offer me free food, you can get me to do anything. Like
Yeah,
go anywhere. Like I will go to somebody's funeral I've never met in my life as long as there's free food.
right. Excuse me. Anyways, now back to the story. Yeah, Zeke. He texted me. He's like, "Yeah, come do this guest spot, free drinks. I'll give you some gas money." So and I was very, kind of like, I guess I'll do this. I threw on my clothes, whatever. Got a ride over there. The show starts, and I don't know how it's going because there's actually a green room at the Alabama Music Box. So yeah, yeah,
There's a
behind the
green room in
stage.
there?
I didn't know this
I
either until
didn't
I
know
opened for
either.
Ginny Zagrino, and Zeke told me the code to the green room, and I was like, "You have a green room?" And so
How
I
is
was
there
hanging
room
out.
for a green room? Because the bathrooms are right behind the stage.
It's to the left of the bathrooms.
Okay.
Yeah, so you walk back to the bathrooms, and to the left there's an employees only door with a code lock on the door,
Hmm.
and you open it up, and there's another bathroom in there for
I guess,
employees,
I guess I'm
and
not
there's this.
famous enough to know about the green room.
Nope, not. I'm sorry, man. Yeah, I don't know if I should be saying this or not, but yeah, there's a green room, and
uh,
there's a
you
few
have to
seats in
kill all
there.
of us now. Now that we all
Yeah,
know there's a green room.
and from the green room there's a door. You can open the door from the green room and go on stage.
That's cool.
Yeah, so you see a door behind the stage, and that's to that little area back there.
Hmm.
So I was hanging out back there. I have no idea how the show's going. I'm just hanging out, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna worry about how the crowd is. I'm not gonna worry about what kind of crowd it is. I'm just gonna go out there and I'm gonna guest spot. I'm just gonna do. He said I could do 5 to 7. I'll do 7. I'll work out, whatever. Hanging out with Craig Williams, best friend, good friend of the show, and yeah, it's my time to go on. I have no idea how the crowd is, whatever. I walk out from the green room from that little door, and it is packed. The room is full.
Hmm.
The room is full. All the chairs are full. There are people standing up. It was more full than the Jenny Zagrino show, more full than Sean Patton. There was no room. Everyone that could be in there was in there.
Do you hear my stomach? I hope that's not coming through the mic. For some reason, my stomach is like, bow, bow.
No, I don't hear your stomach meowing,
Okay, good.
Jason. But yeah, I go up there, and dude, when I tell you I had one of those mythical sets that everyone talks
Yes,
about.
yes.
I had the kind of set where I wish there was a camera rolling, because if there was, I would get any job that I ever wanted in this industry. It was one of those sets where it's just the audience was on
You could
fire.
literally
They were
do no wrong.
I could have farted in the fucking microphone and they would have lost their shit, dude. The owner of the bar afterwards came up to me and shook my hand, and he was like, "Hey, I've never seen you perform before, but you're a fucking killer. Come back anytime. We'd love to have you." And it was one of those things where I got off stage and I was like, I need to quit comedy because I'm never going to have a better set than I just had. It was all of the fucking stars aligned, and
Yeah,
I just instantly was out of my shitty mood. Like, oh, I have to come here and do this thing. I was like, I get to come here and be in front of this great fucking
yeah.
audience during this comedy festival that I'm not even supposed to be at right now. And man, and they did good that show too, man. A lot of people fucking showed up. So I made back what I had to pay to get into the comedy festival plus profit.
Wow.
It was
Yep.
for a
Ron
guest
John
spot.
420's yelling at you in the chat room. Always record. I need to take
Yes.
that advice too. I do the same thing because the same thing happened to me a few weeks ago when me and our good friend Nikki Coleman, who has been on the show before,
Yep.
who
Yep. Best
shout out
friend.
to
Good
Nikki,
friend of the
who
show.
is battling COVID right now. She's in the hospital and she's vaxxed, but she still got Delta and
Wow.
ended up in the hospital. So
Well, we're
good
pulling for
thoughts,
you, Nick.
good thoughts out for her. Me and her did a show in Pensacola about a month ago, and we play in this bar. I can't remember the name of it, but we pull up and it's like immediately, like you pull up to the bar and you're like, oh my god, there's gonna be chicken wire around the stage, like
Yeah.
that
Right.
kind of place. Go in, and it's like out of the movie Roadhouse. I'm like immediately just like, oh my god, I'm gonna die in here. Even the doorman looked like Sam Elliott. Like, and they had motorcycles on the stage. I go in the bathroom to take a pee, and on the wall, like you go to the urinal and they have the ads right in front of you. The ads were
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
shooting ranges and bail bondsmen.
Look, the funny thing about that is if you're taking a piss and you see an ad for a bails bondsman and you decide to call it because you need a bails bondsman, why are you in this bar taking a piss right now?
Exactly. Like,
Hide.
how do you? Why do they advertise bail bondsmen in the bathroom? Like, you only need a like. It's not like bail, like you just go out like to just get a bail bondsman, like just, oh, you know
Yeah.
what? I might need a bail bondsman one of these. Like, no, it's one of those things that's like, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. And you're desperately calling your mom or dad, like, please come get me
Yeah.
out of jail.
Give me a bail bondsman.
Wait, I saw an advertisement at the bar. Go in the bar in the bathroom over the urinal and get that number for the bail bondsman. Like, why? Because you're
I'll
just
let you
gonna call
finish
the
your.
first. You're gonna call the first one that pops up in Google. That's what's gonna
Yeah,
happen.
absolutely. I'll let you finish your story, but side note, I've spent the night in a bail bondsman office before.
Really?
Not because I was in trouble, but because I just did. Like that's just I did a show and the guy that owned the bar that we were performing at was like, I also own this bail bonds office and you can fucking stay in this little apartment that I have in there.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a good place actually.
Okay. But anyway, I'm like in there looking at that, and I'm like, bail bondsman, shooting ranges, Harley's on the stage. Like, I better take out every single political joke I have in this set right
Mhm.
now.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So and I'm looking around at the clientele, and I'm like, these people are going to fucking hate me. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know why we're here. I was nervous. I was shaking before I went on stage. I get up there, and the first joke, boom, rocks the house. And I'm like, okay, now and it was one of those like you said, just magical moments where I could
Right.
say nothing wrong. I was supposed to do 10 minutes. The dude like told me to like was on the side of the stage telling me to keep going. I ended up doing like 13 minutes. And after the show, like people were coming up to me telling me how funny it was. I went up to the bar to get some water, and all the bartenders were like, "Dude, that was some funny shit, man."
Yeah.
And even Nikki came up to me. She was like, "You just killed this place." And I was like, oh, "Wow!" Even the guy that ran the show came up to me. He's like, "Dude, that was awesome." And like it was like I was on cloud nine for like 3 days afterwards.
Yeah, that's how I still feel. That's how I'm gonna be until I bomb again because
Yeah.
it's just that's the same exact feeling that it was Monday night, dude.
See, that's
Like,
why I was hoping last night I would go up and just kind of bomb because I
yeah,
figured nobody was there. I go ahead and get my bomb out of the way. Like you do something like just do something weird. Go on stage with like no plan and just bomb and get it out of the way. So by the time the next show rolls around, I'm good to go. But
yeah,
last night ended up being pretty good. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Playing
yeah. I
the
know. I
odds right
always,
now because you got to get that one good bomb in there.
yeah. It's inevitable. It's inevitable. No matter how good of a comic you are, you're gonna bomb sometimes for the rest of your life, man.
Yeah.
I mean, even Bill Burr, Tom Segura, those guys still bomb, dude. Like that, and that's why again, fuck Kevin Hart. The audience matters, man. Like they bomb because of the fucking audience.
Yeah, it's different areas have different audiences, man. Like because I was so nervous in Pensacola because the one time I was there before, a few weeks
Mhm.
before that or a couple of months before that, the last time I was in Pensacola was the massive bombing I had over there with
Yeah,
you and the governor.
yeah. I think you're still. I think there's still a warrant out for you after that. This
Probably.
this fucking bro. That's a terrorist attack, dude.
Hasn't been a bombing that hard since Hiroshima.
Yeah, dude. Fucking Pearl Harbor of
Yeah,
Pensacola,
no
man.
shit.
But yeah, dude, I do the same thing though. I bomb at the most inopportune shows,
Yeah.
like a charity event for these little fucking doggies. I'm gonna go up there and just bomb and be like, "Hey, donate
Uh,
money to this fucking good cause."
yeah.
Yeah, just the most. And I bombed the first night of my tour in New Orleans. I just got off of a week tour in New Orleans. The very first night, ate shit.
Hmm.
And the thing is yeah, okay. Louisiana has their mask mandate back, so there's not a lot of people doing things because they have to go wear masks. Like, yeah, I'll just stay home. I don't want to wear a
Yeah.
mask. There are only 5 people there, but the thing is even though there were only 5 people there, I'm well aware of the fact that I still ate shit. Like, I should have been able to make those
It
five
seems
people
like the
laugh.
less people that are there, the harder it. It's weird because it seems like the less people there are, the harder it is to make them laugh. You ever
Because
find that?
they're afraid of being embarrassed. They're afraid of calling attention to themselves.
I
I
think
feel like,
so. I think you might be on to something.
because dude,
Because think
my
about it,
mom
like
gets this all the time.
last night
Yeah,
we were at the bar. Nobody was in there except all the comedians and this couple. And then they bolted after like the
yeah,
second comedian because I guess because I had a whole bit I was gonna do about them when I got up, and then they left, and I was like, well, shit, there goes my first 2 minutes right there.
yeah. And dude, my mom comes to almost all of my comedy shows, right? And she still laughs at almost all of my jokes. And so she'll have instances where she's sitting in the crowd and someone says something funny and she laughs. And then she'll look over and someone's looking at her like she's crazy for laughing at a comedy show.
I know.
It's like, what? Why did you come here? What did you expect? Are you a fucking critic? Are you a Yelp reviewer? Like,
I don't know. I don't know.
come on, man. Oh, dude, funny story. I didn't tell you about my Yelp review incident.
Okay, hit me,
Yeah, bro.
hit me.
So I went to the open mic at Ditcher on the Alley a week ago or a couple weeks ago or something like that. And because I promised Jeremy that I'd come out there. Oh no, this was actually right before I went on tour in New Orleans. I was rusty. I knew I was rusty, so I went to this open mic to shake some rust off.
Mhm.
And I get up there, and it's normal night, and there's quite a few people there, and there's this table of three white girls. One's like a pretty blonde white girl. One's like a pudgy, short-haired, dyed blue lesbian white girl, and I don't remember what the other one looked like. And Jeremy made a joke about the first comic was black, and he made a joke. He's like, "I got to give you the Obama, man," and he like pulled him in close and gave him the hug or whatever. And then I go up next, and he also gave me the Obama because me and Jeremy are tight. So he pulled me in and hugged me or whatever. And I said, word for word, I said, "This is a big moment for me. This means I can say the N word now." How I started my set. Look, maybe maybe that's not a funny line. Maybe it's not. Okay, cool. This table of white girls. First of all, one of them said no, and I had the lamest comeback ever. I said, "What are you, the N-word police?" Lamest fucking comeback ever, right? But the thing is, it's lame. It's shitty. I do my set. The set goes fine.
Hmm.
Uh, so the only thing that I'm regretting is that I didn't have a better comeback. One of these little fucking white girls left a review on Yelp of Landmass Comedy, who runs this open mic, and they said the big guy said the N word and then called my friend out when she said, "No, you can't do that." Jason, what I said was the phrase the N word. If I can't say that, what can I say?
Maybe that's
I
what
didn't.
she should have put quotes around the N word in her Yelp
Yeah,
review.
she's basically lying, trying to fucking, I don't know, think she can do something because she didn't like a joke. Whatever. Guess what? All the black people in that room didn't fucking care. It's like, you don't speak for them.
You
Stop
got
fucking
you
being a
got
white knight.
you got hit with the social justice warriors. Sure, they were trying to cancel you.
I know. Again. I've been canceled on this scene before, dude. They're trying to do it to me again. And this
Uh,
time I didn't do fucking anything. I said literally the phrase, the N word. Was I supposed to just say the word?
Might as well. I mean, if you're going to get a Yelp review,
like what? Like, like what would they have done if I did say it? Would their heads have exploded? Like
probably.
what? It's just it blows
You
my
know what you should
mind.
have done? Should have said the N word, and then called up Too Real and been like, got him on the mic and be like, he said I had two free N words.
Oh, too loose. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Or
call up
Too
too
Loose, I
loose and
mean,
be
not
like,
Too Real.
yeah, too loose gave me passes, man. Gave me passes. But it's just it's so funny to me that it's like this person that's hosting the open mic is
Speaking of
I'm
Too
friends
Real,
with.
isn't he supposed to be on the show sometime soon?
I said I would schedule him if he can ever show up anywhere on time.
Okay.
He has yet to do that, so I will not schedule him.
Yeah, we'd have to. That. Yeah, I don't know. He never shows up on time for anything.
Right. It just pisses me off that it's the fucking table of white girls that get pissed off about this, and none of the black people that were in that room gave a flying fuck.
Yep.
Like that's how you know that you're the one that's in the wrong.
Oh boy.
His cancel culture stuff getting
Don't get me
fucking
started.
it's getting ridiculous,
It's like a
man.
religion at this point.
It's a cult. It's a
Yeah.
fucking cult, dude.
Nobody is allowed to grow and be
Right.
sorry, and or no one's allowed to change and be better. It's like you are judged by the one thing you said 20 years ago, even though I was a completely different person earlier today than I was
Yeah.
20 years ago. You
Right,
know,
yeah.
so,
I changed my opinion an hour ago.
yeah,
Now this is my
exactly.
new opinion.
I change my opinions by the minute.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. And it's just like, ah, fuck, what was I gonna say?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't
Sorry,
remember what
I
I was
didn't
gonna
mean
say either.
to derail you.
No, it's okay, man. Yeah, I don't remember what I was gonna say, but yeah, this whole thing is just, oh, I think I remember what I was gonna say. It's like these people, uh, like they'll not even do anything. Like Liam Neeson, he came out and he was like, I had this emotion towards black people at one time,
Yeah.
and I want to apologize for that. And everyone's like, well, you're canceled now because you admitted it.
Dude's like 70 years old.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like
he's
what?
and he's like Northern Irish, so
Not to mention, like he was literally like, there was this one time where this black guy beat up one of my friends, and then I was like, I want to kill this black guy, and I wanted to kill him because he was black, and that was wrong, so I
yeah,
apologize. And
and
everyone
I'm
was
not
like, oh,
making
you're canceled.
excuses for the guy, but like he's 70. People, I hope I change like opinions by the time I'm 70. Like that's a long life to live and have different opinions throughout your life. I mean, shit.
Yeah, it's getting crazy, man. It's getting crazy out here.
I think it's just
But
it's at a fever. I think it's actually starting to calm down a little bit,
yeah,
but
I
I
think it
don't
is
know.
with especially with the Austin comedy scene and everything. Because the way that Austin's working kind of right now is it's a fucking closed loop, man. Like if something gets out online, that's because someone was recording when they weren't supposed to.
Yeah,
Like so, you go to a club in Austin, you can try your fucking edgy jokes out, and if someone doesn't like it, fuck them.
yeah,
What I was gonna say earlier, I just remembered it. Uh, when someone at a local fucking bar open mic comedy show says something that you don't like, it's not like it's fucking Bert Kreischer or some super famous comedian where you have to go on Yelp for discourse. You could literally have come to the bar right after I got off stage and talked to me face to fucking face, and I probably would have apologized for offending you.
yeah.
Like the fact that it's just such a cowardly recourse. It's like the people that are doing this are cowards because they don't want to have a face to face interaction with you.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous,
Nobody
man.
wants to talk anymore. Nobody wants to like get to know anybody else. Nobody wants to like hear differences of opinions. Nobody
Yeah.
wants to like take difference of like take constructive criticism. It's just like you're there's no black or there's no gray area. Everything's black or white. It's just like
Yeah.
there's no room for improvement, no room for anything. It's just like you say one wrong bad thing, boom, you're canceled.
Yeah, and the thing is what's happening with DaBaby right now. I don't know if you know about this, the rapper DaBaby.
Mhm. I've heard.
Have you heard
I've
about this?
never heard of him until like all that went
Okay.
down.
So I like how this situation has planned out. This is how it should work from now on.
Mm-hmm.
DaBaby said really stupid homophobic things on stage. His agent and everyone told him he needed to apologize. He had the chance to apologize, In his apology, he said shit that was even dumber. So all of the music festivals dropped him. His agent dropped him. Dua Lipa, who he has a song with, who is bisexual, said, "Don't play our fucking song anymore." Most of the radio stations out there have pulled the baby songs uh from the radio station, so he's making no money off of that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it should work. If someone says something you don't like, then don't support that person. And
Yeah,
private businesses should be able to choose to not work with you.
exactly.
But don't just be like, "You're magically canceled." Cancel button,
Yeah.
cancel stamp. You're fucking canceled. That doesn't what does
Yeah, if
that
you
do
say
for
something
anybody?
stupid and that's objectively dumb and wrong, and you double down,
Yeah. Yeah.
like yeah, there's a pre like you know, there's a I can agree with that, but if somebody says something stupid like in the heat of a moment, or says something out of ignorance,
Yeah.
like, and then they're not given a chance to like, and like when people do say something out of ignorance and they apologize, then everybody jumps on their apology and is just like,
Yeah.
fuck your apology. Like, what do you want people to like? If somebody says something stupid and then they're like, "Oh shit, I didn't mean that," or like I didn't know I was, like give people a chance to like learn and
Yeah.
grow. Like I don't know, man. It's a different world now. I don't
Yeah. Well,
understand it. I'm old.
people should be canceled for actions, not words, in my opinion.
Exactly.
Like Chris D'Elia is fucking accused by multiple women of
Yeah.
grooming them and whatever, and accused of sexual assault. Okay, that's actions, man. Cool. He hurt people.
Hmm.
Fuck him. Um,
I would.
Shane Gillis, who said a racial slur on a podcast one time, he apologized for it. His it's still it's still canceled. Why?
Yeah.
He didn't hurt anybody. He said a fucking word.
Yeah.
Dude, if that hurts your feelings, get thicker skin.
Yeah.
This
No
world
shit.
isn't for you, man.
And like I don't forgot what I was gonna say. I don't remember.
I just want to point out how every podcast that doesn't have like a set subject eventually divulges into cancel culture.
Because we're all scared to death. I mean, not scared to death,
Yeah.
but it's like,
Oh, Jason, I'm scared to death, Bubba. I'm
well,
fucking
the thing
scared,
is
dude.
people have to understand context,
Yeah.
and most of the time, like people have to realize. Like, I've actually had people in my life get angry over stuff I say on stage, and I'm just like, you realize that's like most of the shit I say on stage, I don't think that. Like
Yeah, right.
like the reason I say these outlandish things on stage is because they're fucking outlandish and I don't believe
Right.
it.
Most of the time you believe the opposite,
Yeah,
and that's what
exactly.
makes it funny.
Exactly. So context is everything, and I think people have lost the ability to understand context
Yeah. I said this on a podcast a while
and
ago, probably like
intention.
20.
Intention
Yeah.
is big too.
Yeah, I mentioned this on the Pop Nutshell podcast back in the day, like 2019, something like that. We got into a cancel culture discussion even back then. Fucking stupid. We're still talking about it 3 years later. I said, if I hated Jewish people, for an example, why would I write a bunch of jokes about Jewish people?
Yeah.
Like, why would I have people pointing fingers at me? No, I'd be trying to fucking hide it, dude.
Yeah.
I'm making these jokes because I want to include people.
Yeah.
I want to roast these people and be like, "Hey, you're cool with me, man. If I'm
Yeah.
making fun of you, we're good."
Yeah, exactly. I'm the same way. I mean, I make fun of people and stuff and say outlandish shit on stage, but
Yeah,
most of the time it's all like people have to understand intent and I don't know. It's just intent, context. Like it's just taken so it's blown so far out of proportion at this point. I think it's like everything's in waves, and like past since 2016, everything hit a fever pitch, like
yeah,
online and real life. Like I have lost people in my life, like people close to me because of politics, like and shit like that. And it's just like I'm so over it. I'm ready for things to just calm the hell down for a bit, you know?
Yeah, me too, man. And I think maybe the cancel culture stuff did die down a little bit during COVID because no one's thinking about that
Yeah.
now. But I think once Bill Cosby got released, it started hyping
Yeah.
up again because
Yeah.
Bill Cosby is now a free man on a technicality, and he raping, dude. He be raping. Like, and the funniest thing, I guarantee you, Jason, within the year before 2022, Bill Cosby will be headlining a comedy club
Oh, I guarantee it.
because these fucking club owners don't give a fuck about anything but selling out their shows.
Yep.
So that's it. I mean, they're gonna book Bill Cosby because they're gonna know they're gonna get so much press for this show. It's gonna sell out. Even if it's bad press, everyone's gonna be like, Bill Cosby is headlining this room on this date at this time, and this is wrong. Guess what? You're promoting his fucking show, and now you just made it sell out.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a whole other rabbit hole we could go down with the press, but we'll save that for another show.
Yeah, we still have a host episode coming
Yeah.
up at the end of the month, so
Anyway, let's
we need
start
to save
wrapping this one up
questions.
because we got a
Let's do
twofer
it,
to do
man.
tonight.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, man. So where I'm gonna be, what I'm gonna be doing tomorrow night, Thursday night, August 12th, I will be at the Alabama Music Box in the Mobile Comedy Festival competition. Come and root for me and let me make you laugh, and hopefully I will get to the finals of that. After that, I believe, yeah, the next thing is going to be the open mic Tuesday night at the Juke Joint in Ocean Springs, 8 p.m. I'm going to be your new host. I'm going to do things differently, not drastically differently, but I'm going to make some changes that will hopefully benefit the comics in the audience. So if you want to see how things are going to change, come on out.
And for me, I'll just be doing whatever open mics are still open because everything's kind of shutting down again because of COVID. And everything I was working on in New Orleans is starting to back off again. And so it's like, well, I got some other shows I'm working on here, just here on the Mississippi coast. So I'll be doing what I can get on stage when I can. So we'll see what happens over the next couple of months with this Delta variant. And in the meantime, go get vaxxed if you're not vaxxed. It's almost like pretty much fully approved by the FDA at this point. So if you're scared, I understand. I don't like needles either, but just go do it. Like hospitals are filling up. We're almost to the point of hospital failure in Mississippi. They had to open up. There's a hospital up in North Mississippi. They had to open up like the parking garage, and they're actually the Army is coming in and
Jesus
setting it
Christ.
up right now to turn it into an emergency ICU ward because there's no more room in the hospitals. So if you don't want to die and you don't want to kill other people, go get vaxxed. Doesn't matter which one, Johnson and Johnson, Moderna, whatever. Just go get stuck, and we can beat this thing and get everything back to freaking normal. It's not political. I'm not being political right now. I'm just saying I got the vaccine. I'm still alive. Nothing happened. So go get it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'll speak from personal experience. I was actually a little afraid to get the vaccine because of all of these, adverse reactions or whatever everyone's talking about. And then my brother and his whole family got COVID, so
Mm-hmm.
I decided that I'm going to go get the vaccine. Got my first shot.
Shart.
I got my first shot, and then I started. I got my first shot, and my arm was numb and hurting and everything for 2 days. And I'm waiting for my second shot. I'm gonna get that on the 13th. So I'll
right.
keep you guys updated, man. If you guys are afraid to see what's gonna happen, I'll be your Huckleberry.
Yeah. My first shot, sore arm. Second shot, felt like crap for about 12 hours the next day. And then other than that, perfectly fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, go get it. And the name of this episode is going to be Shart.
Dude, do Shart in the dark.
Shart in the dark. All right. And on that note, let me go ahead and play our music here. If you want to email us, you can email us at openmikerspodcast@gmail.com. We are at openmikers on Twitter and Instagram. Open Micers Podcast on Facebook. www.ompodcast, I think, goes to our, what does that go to? Patreon. Also, openmicers.com goes to Patreon as well. So we're now on Anchor FM. You can support us over there, and we'll see you guys next week. Awesome. Thank you for hanging out with us in the chat room. And we'll be back in about 20-25 minutes for Jacob's going to be joining me for Nerd Cave Retro tonight. So come back and right around 8 o'clock, we'll be back. And see you guys in just a bit.